Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in a bag of a can. Put the big around the world with the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 flavors. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. The Popcorn World.
You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, Steve Major. At power forward, Al B. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five.
Good evening, everyone, and we start off tonight's broadcast of the Five with some very, very, very sad and controversial news. Legendary Hall of Fame basketball coach Bob Knight has died at the age of 83 in his Bloomington home. Most of you remember Bob Knight primarily as the coach of the only undefeated basketball team in the history of college basketball, the men's college basketball, the 1970, I believe 76, I think it was, 76 or 79, I can't remember, I apologize. But the undefeated basketball team and his Hoosiers then win the championship, I think in 81. And then again in 87. He was extremely controversial, and most people thought of him as either a hero or a villain, but he was a great basketball coach. So I'm bringing in my brother Reggie Love now to discuss this, and I don't know. Reggie, when I heard the news, I'll be honest with you, I had very mixed emotions about it because the basketball side of me was like, wow, Bob Knight's dead. That's sad. But then the human side of me was like, well, I mean, they're not trying to throw shade at him, but Bob Knight wasn't the nicest dude. Like, at least he wasn't, his persona was not the greatest. And so, I don't know how people feel or will feel today about the passing of Bob Knight. But one thing is undeniable: he was a great basketball coach.
I'm a basketball guy, so I'm definitely it's definitely sad. I remember seeing Bobby Knight for the first time when I was a sophomore in high school. We were at the Little Rock McClellan High School, and I was playing with the AAU team, Arkansas Wings at the time. Okay. And we were the younger group, and Corliss Williamson I think it was his junior going to senior year.
Okay,
and
yeah.
The older group were there practicing. So I remember we were in a smaller gym, and to get to the larger gym where the older group were playing, the coaches had to go through the smaller gym to get to the larger gym, and Bobby Knight walked through there, and we were like, "Wow, that's Bobby Knight,
right?"
Hey, come recruit me, Bobby. I'm here. You know, he was coming to see Corliss at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, the thing about the basketball mind, number one, his coaching tree. You know, Coach K.
Man.
Yeah, Coach K came out. That's one of his greatest legendary coaches came from history was Coach K. And you think about the tough, hard-nosed man-to-mans, he was part of that coaching legacy that brought that around. He was that hard-nosed man-to-man motion offense he had hard-nosed man-to-man motion offense. So you look at a lot of things of today's game, it was from Bobby Knight. And I don't think the pure basketball fans don't realize that, especially that tough man-to-man defense, that was from Bobby Knight.
Yeah.
So, the basketball guy in me, it's sad. I think great legend, he was. And then let's don't forget, I'm sure Cam, they changed the name of the Duncanville Center now. It was the Bobby Knight Center where they play all the AAU games there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what they named it now. Its name has changed since then, but yeah.
How do you think Bobby Knight Cam will be remembered? Is he like Reggie said, the legendary coach, the one of the GOATs of coaching? His tree is insane. Chris Beard, Steve Alford, Mike Woodson, Keith Smart, Pat Knight, Mike Davis, Dusty Mays. I mean, that's a pretty impressive coaching tree. Of course, Coach Krzyzewski as the number one.
Yeah.
I always remember as the guy who threw chairs on the.
I think people are gonna look at everything in the collaboration, but when you take the body of work, you know what I mean. You a flat out hater if that's what we're gonna dwell on. You know what I mean. He old school. He old school. That's right. That's when you can cuss people out and do what you had to do in the locker room and even right there on the sideline and say what you had to say. Things change, time change. You do that now, you'll be fired before halftime.
God.
And let's be honest. Some of these kids need that today. Even
I agree.
Fired, they need
that. Like John Morant.
Exactly. I mean, you hate, and I know I'm kind of going off, but I want to piggyback off what Cam's saying.
Yeah.
That's what we need today in the game a little bit. We do need
He called it discipline back then. He called it discipline.
Yeah, and that's what it was. I mean, name coaches that y'all been through your generation of high school sports. That's who they were, and that's who Bobby Knight was. They got that from Bobby Knight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We talk about them, but we using them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We using them. I mean, I got hit in the chest before. I got run push-ups, line drills, whatever you name it.
100%.
Yes.
There's not much negative that I can say about Bobby Knight in the sense of the discipline part. Now, did he go too far sometime? Probably, but he wasn't the only one that went too far. He was just the one that got caught the most. I mean, let's be real. I'm sure there were other coaches that cussed kids out, that threw chairs, that did other things as well. But Bobby got caught a lot.
True.
Right, and he didn't care about getting caught either. So that's the other part. So, a legendary coach, man, it's a sad thing to see him leaving this earth. But we will finally remember him as one of the greats, man. Real talk, as one of the greats. So,
hey, I love the quote was, "When I die, you better be what did he say? Upside down for all the critics can kiss me."
The kiss is natural. Yeah. That was the quote. I forgot about that quote, Reggie. I forgot about that quote. You are correct, sir. So I guess he's gonna get his wish now, because that is definitely how that quote went down. Okay, we're gonna keep it moving, y'all.
So who's left? Who is Pat still coaching somewhere?
Oh, Chris Beard is coaching, isn't he?
Pat, yeah.
I don't know if his son is. If he is, I don't know where he's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think Chris is still coaching. Didn't he get a job after he left Texas Tech?
Can't remember.
I feel like he's somewhere. We have to look that up. But the tree is still impressive. I mean, let's just keep it a buck.
Oh yeah.
The tree is still impressive. So, all right, we're gonna keep it moving because we got a ton of stuff to get to tonight. And it's been breaking news left and right, which is why we started early tonight. And I apologize, I needed to make some adjustments here in the background here. Okay. I guess we start with Josh McDaniels. I mean, first of all, what's up with the breaking of the news in the middle of the night? That's crazy. Like two major stories got broken like 1 a.m. back-to-back days. So last night it was Josh McDaniels, the GM and the offensive coordinator, fired from the Las Vegas Raiders. They will be replaced in the interim by former New York Giants linebacker Antonio Pierce, who was the linebacker coach for the Raiders. He's going to serve as the interim head coach. Are you surprised, gentlemen? Was this the right call to do this literally at the halfway point of the season? What are your thoughts?
I didn't think he was on the chopping block just yet, to be honest with you. How long has he been there? A year?
This is his second year.
Second year. It's unless you're doing a detrimental job. Well, I'm not saying he did a great job. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I'm gonna be honest. I was surprised.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Josh, my counterpart knows about Josh. We like, oh well, Josh. To me, Josh is, and I could be wrong. I'm not an NFL expert. I think Josh is better a coordinator than a head coach.
He's one of the best coordinators ever.
Yeah.
He's got Super Bowl rings to prove it. But man, him moving over one seat is the worst thing you can do for your franchise.
Hey, some people can't do it. That one seat can be.
Well, because it's a different management style. It's a different management style to have to look over everything as opposed to having to just focus on one thing. And I think he struggles to focus. On everything. Is it muffled? What's going on with it? Just we can say it out loud.
Yeah, your mic.
I don't know. I had some trouble with it the other night too. So y'all keep talking amongst yourselves and give me the thumb.
Well, it could be your voice because you've been cheering for the Rangers and yelling and all that kind of crap. So it could just be you.
It could very well be that. And listen, I still got some cheering to do.
How's that sound?
There it is.
Yeah.
That's it? Okay, good. I thought I had changed the settings, but there you go.
Because it sounded like when you was talking, it sounded like you said you gave up on Saquon and Daniels. Like your whole
I did not say that. I did not say that.
Let's make sure.
I have given up on Daniel for sure. But Saquon, no, that's not true at all. Which is why we did not trade him yesterday. No, I'm not surprised by it, Reg. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised they did it in the middle of the season.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very surprised about that.
No, that's why I'm agreeing. I'm surprised like it was in the middle of the season.
I'm very surprised by that. I figured but I wasn't surprised. I fully expect him and also Brandon Staley of the Chargers. They're probably going to lose their jobs this year. Like barring a major shift for the Chargers, I don't see how Brandon Staley keeps his job. So this is just the first of the dominoes that are falling, in my opinion. What do you think, Cam? You seem surprised too.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I was talking to my boy Ron C. This is the honest truth. About just 2 days ago, I said, "Hey, because everything that's going on, Belichick is going to step down. Josh McDaniels is going to get fired. He's going to go back to the Patriots and take over."
You see steps.
Yeah.
You see steps. Okay.
Yeah. But Here's the other thing, though. That's strike 2, Josh.
Technically, can we give him 2.5? That coach thing was kind of jacked up too. The Indianapolis coach thing he pulled.
That's strike 3, Reggie. You showed
Yeah,
that.
that's strike 3.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking that's strike 3.
And I warned him.
Yeah, that's strike 3.
You're right, Reggie.
Can we get that 2.5?
Yeah, y'all didn't get that back. Y'all didn't run that back. Yeah. One thing that popped in my head, and then we can move on from this. It's interesting because they've already decided to bench Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not sure. I don't know if Antonio Davis can save it. Wouldn't this be the perfect time to tank for Caleb?
I mean, they ain't necessarily got a tank. They gonna lose.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I'm just talking.
You're for real though. You're right.
Man, I was gonna say that's real talk though. Look, if you're talking about turning your franchise around, one of the number one problems the Raiders have had in the last 10 years is a quarterback. They have not had a quarterback since Rich Gannon left.
I mean, is Jimmy G better than Derek Carr?
No.
Then why did I see? That's why the GM got fired. I'm sure.
Well, the Jimmy G thing was more. The Jimmy G was more of a thing where that was Josh's guy in New England.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Right. Yeah. And so you live by your guy, you die by your guy. But that game this past weekend was horrible. Right? Well, was it Monday? That game was horrible. And the way he was
any game you want to choose, they all been horrible.
Well, they were all been horrible, but this one was really bad because Devontae was open at least 4 or 5 times for touchdowns, not just catches, touchdowns. And he was overthrowing and throwing about 1 for 11. Devontae Adams with 1 for 11. No, bro, you gotta go.
Think about it. The root thing. If you really just dig into the root of it, San Francisco went with a damn near undrafted person over Jimmy G. For a reason. Like, seriously, for a reason. And that's why I was telling y'all, there's no way in the world I would root for Golden State if my life was over. Just kill me right now. I hate Golden State, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, as y'all can hear, Chad is here. He's squeaking his.
As y'all can hear.
I mean, he walked right in with the squeak of the thing and the Lord have mercy. And then we got a special man. And we got to get him in right now because he got work to do tonight. He got to cover my Rangers winning the World Series tonight. I ain't got nothing else to cross, Lord Jesus. Let me cross it off. Okay.
You're talking about it too much.
First of all, Chad, this ain't gonna do with you. You just sit there and go for the ride. This is
hey, I know what 3-1 look like.
This is family business, Chad.
I know what 3-1 look like.
Endo.
That's tough.
I know how it can turn.
Endo, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. Can y'all hear me? I just want to make sure y'all can hear me.
Brother, we got you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man, everything's good, man. Just, got NBA season here, NFL, and of course this World Series where I've been at. I'm finally back in the area, so it's good to be back. Hopefully they shut it down tonight.
What has this ride been like for you? Because you've been covering the Rangers in the dark days, and now the Rangers are 1 game away from a World Series championship. What has this ride been like for you?
I mean, my first year was like 2011. I was with the Dallas Weekly, so I covered them when they lost. I went up to St. Louis. I saw them lose that series, right? And then everything went downhill.
Yeah.
Like it started Ron Washington losing his position. You bring in Jeff Bannister. Guys started getting older. And then you go for like 4 years losing 90 games, right? It was brutal. The days of walking inside the new ballpark and Andy Ibanez is batting third in your lineup and he's your cleanup hitter. Or he's batting fourth. Like I had to go through that. But like I came on the show earlier this year and I told y'all the Rangers are gonna be for real. And a lot of people doubted the Rangers, and it's just that, the logic was this, man, like they did the right formula. They got the right guy, Chris Young, who's a native of DFW, former player, won a World Series. He's your GM. So he has a player's eye. The last time they had a player's eye involved in front office was Nolan Ryan when they went to the World Series. And you lose Nolan. John Daniels, credit to John Daniels, he drafted some of these guys like, Josh Young, those guys that are here now, some of those young guys. But, CY, he put his own, like, little stamp on it. And they went aggressive this offseason, last two offseasons. You know, Corey Seager, who arguably is probably the best player in baseball, right? You know, if he can stay healthy, Lord knows the numbers he can actually put up, right? And he put up crazy numbers this year. Marcus Semien, who was a guy that had a crazy COVID year with Toronto, right? He hit 40 home runs, and people forgot. And he had never been in the playoffs except one time prior to that. So just those little moves, man, and just the way they drafted. This has been a smart drafting team. You know, like I said, I give credit to a lot of things. And the number one thing I think is Bruce Bochy. You know, Bruce Bochy has won before. I remember Bruce Bochy, his first World Series came against the Rangers when he was with the Giants, and they beat the Rangers. So, you know, Bruce Bochy he's done this before. When you want to talk about all-time perspective, when we talk about these hierarchy of managers, he may be considered the greatest of our generation, if not the GOAT. Because, I mean, he's taking teams that hadn't won anything and just put his stamp on it. And I mean, his first year from a team that lost 94 games last year, his first year, this team is a game away from winning the World Series. So, you know, credit to the team, man. But it's been crazy, man. And I love the fact that, you know, now all of a sudden everybody starts realizing, oh, you've been coming to Rangers. I was like, yeah, they've been that bad, huh? So, you know, I told everybody, I gave everybody the warning sign. I said, hey, I literally put out a message in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
They were like, at the time, they were 30 and like 15. I told everybody, I literally made a post on every social media, same exact post. You guys want to start seeing some winning and sports in the DFW, you may want to start jumping on the Rangers bandwagon before it's too late. I told everybody. And now, you know, we're here, and hopefully they shut it down tonight.
It's amazing how – go ahead, Rich.
Question for you. So Monday night, tell me the atmosphere, the feeling when Garcia is ruled out. Mm-hmm. Number one, how did everybody feel? Number two, were you expecting 11 runs the next day after that situation happened?
So I'll start off with the feeling. You know, just talking to a couple of guys on the team. You know, Travis Jankowski, really nice guy. He was one of the top picks of the draft when he came out. So this wasn't a guy that he's sort of been an afterthought in baseball for a few years because he had the injuries, didn't really pan out. But this is a guy that was drafted very high when he was drafted, like a lottery type pick guy, and it hadn't panned out. So he was ready for the moment. You know, I just think this team, adversity-wise, has always been through this the whole year. Let's remember the hottest month of the season for this team, Corey Seager didn't play none that month. Yeah. So, you know, they've already been through this sort of like, everybody gets hurt. Like, they have had the unfortunate luck or bad luck of injuries. I mean, you got to think about it. Josh Young goes out for a month. He broke his thumb, right? Jonah Heim, actually 3 or 4 of these guys that are playing tonight shouldn't even be playing baseball, according to the injuries that they had. But they all sort of came back. You know, though this is obviously a big loss, but this team is just loaded, man. Mitch Garver is a guy that when they traded for him on the flyer for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who now everybody hates in the Yankees organization, unfortunately.
Right.
You know, he was a flyer. He was a flyer. Like, he was a guy that, like, 3 years ago, he hit 30 home runs. He hadn't done anything since because of health. But then you got guys like him that step up, right? And, I mean, this team is just loaded, man. They loaded with offensive talent. And even with Scherzer, the same thing. You know, I did a video with Scherzer, right? He wasn't even supposed to be out there. Like, the fact that we even got, like, a game out of him or two was even more. He was ruled out for the season. Yeah. But it's just the fact that, you know, you got guys like Jordan Montgomery that came in to sort of alleviate that, right? Guys are stepping up. Like I said, this lineup is dangerous when they're going. I expected that to happen because the thing is this. I think the biggest mistake was Lou, and that's the manager for the D-backs. He did a bullpen day, and you typically don't do that in the World Series. He did a full bullpen day. Usually you do that in the regular season, but unfortunately because they don't have the starting pitching, they got maybe three guys that you can trust, which is obviously Merrill Kelly. You know, you got Zach Gallen, who's a Cy Young contending type guy, and then you got Brandon Path. Yeah, so you got those guys, but you don't have a fourth guy. So you have to do the bullpen day, and unfortunately it backfired. And the number one thing, like I said, when that game Monday, when it got announced on Monday, it was not like a big like shock to anybody, right? Like they've been through this all year. It wasn't like a scenario where they hadn't had people get hurt. It's always been next man up. Let's just remember, a guy that was a key piece of this team was Ezekiel Duran, who hadn't played almost in 2 months because, you know, the roster is finally back normal, and he just ain't good enough. But this is a guy that many thought could have been an all-star this year before the all-star break, right? So you got guys everywhere, man. And like I said, if I trust anybody, it would be Bruce Bochy. He knows how to put these lineups together, and I expect tonight a guy like Marcus Semien, who has been ice cold throughout the whole playoffs. Ironically, the game that you need him to step up, he has 5 RBIs and he goes ballistic. So, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man. At being a fan of the team as I am, It's been an amazing year to watch.
Mhm.
But the thing that has shocked me the most is how the pitching, because on paper, when we got to July, the pitching looked like it was a playoff roster. So you had Scherzer, you had DeGrom, you had Eovaldi, you had Montgomery. You said, okay, we're winning, and now we got the pitching, and now we got the bats. Now it looks like it. Now we're in September, no DeGrom, no Scherzer. You're just like, well, I don't know if we can make it to the finish line. But to see this bullpen step up the way that it has, the only thing that scares me is Chapman getting up. Every time Chapman comes out, see, you even grabbed your face. Every time Chapman comes out of the bullpen, you just go, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because the man throws harder than anybody in the league.
Yeah. It is give or take with him, right? This is a guy who has won a World Series, right, with the Cubs. More importantly, the thing with this team is this, man. The best trade of the trade deadline was Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery was a trade that nobody talked about. Yeah. You know, he's a guy in St. Louis that was struggling a little bit. He was 500. You can count that on the fact that the team wasn't scoring runs when he was pitching. He had his struggles. He comes here, and he's probably the best pitcher on the team by far. And this is like considering that Nate Eovaldi, who got hurt. You know, Andrew Heaney had his struggles. Remember, they signed all these guys on the idea that, man, they got to be healthy. They signed 3 guys this offseason. Only one of those guys played a full season, and that was Andrew Heaney. Remember, Eovaldi got hurt, so we finally got him back. DeGrom, unfortunately, it was one of those things with DeGrom was like you knew it was going to happen. It was just when it was going to happen.
Right.
I mean, he's sort of the icing on the cake for this team scenario, right? Like I said, and Andrew Heaney was a guy that every other game, you know, he's going to show up. One game, he's going to look like he should have been there. The other game, it's like, yo, what is he doing? So you had that. But I will say this, man, I want to credit 2 guys that, you know, that really, to me, sacrificed a lot. And that's John Gray. Well, actually 3 guys. John Gray, Martin Perez, and Dane Dunning. Dane Dunning this year had been utterly amazing as a reliever. This is a guy that was a starter a year ago. He had to sacrifice his starting spot because of injuries and different things. He comes in and he's done everything they told him to. And John Gray's had the worst luck of injuries. Remember, 2 years ago when they signed John Gray, they signed him to be the number 1 guy. He is now your 5th starter. Yeah. Amongst the guys that you have, the elite guys. And then, like I said, you know, Martin Perez, he was an all-star last year, right? Yeah. He is nowhere to be found on this roster because he's like a relief pitcher now. And he's had his struggles, but those guys sacrifice, man. And when you got starters that become relievers, and those are strong relievers, like, that's good for you. Now, obviously with Chapman, you know what you're getting. He's an intimidator, but he can give up the hits or 2, right? And I think we probably shouldn't use the games against the Astros. That's an elite team.
Right.
But we saw what he did to Corbin Carroll, who's arguably in the MVP race for Arizona, right? Like I said, the guy that in the bullpen to me that has the greatest story ever is Jose Leclerc. Jose Leclerc didn't almost pitch for a whole month, not because he was hurt, because he was so bad. They almost DFA'd him. Like, think about that. They almost waived him. Yeah. He has been your lights out closer. And also another guy who hadn't been healthy, Josh Sborz. Sborz was a guy that nobody liked. 2 years ago, when those 2 guys were on the team, they were horrible. Both of them told me the same thing this year. I'm finally healthy. Yeah. You're going to start seeing it. So, you know, credit to them, man. And like I said, Mike Maddox, who you brought back. Mike Maddox was originally on those World Series teams as a pitching coach. By the way, Mike Maddox is brother of who? Greg Maddox. So he taught Greg Maddox all he knows. Right. So, yeah, you get that, man. But shout out to the team, man. They did a good job.
Hey, listen, man, I know you got to go to the game starting, but do the Rangers close it out tonight? Your gut feeling. Is tonight? I know we got 3 to get 1, but I don't like messing around.
I just think talking to a couple of guys today, I think they do. I think that Nate Eovaldi wants to make history. This is a guy that grew up in Alvin, Texas. By the way, Nate Eovaldi went to Nolan Ryan High School in Alvin, Texas. He's from the same city as Nolan Ryan. Yeah. He broke a lot of Nolan Ryan's records in Alvin, Texas when he was a pitcher. So just think about that. The scenario for him is this. He comes back to his hometown team. He grew up watching Nolan Ryan, who he idolizes. He makes history that Nolan Ryan couldn't do. A lot of great pitchers couldn't do. So if he closes this game out, I think that's good for them. I think you're going to
have a little revenge on his mind tonight, too.
Oh, man. And also, man, they're doing it for guys like Max Scherzer. His story is unique, too. A lot of people don't realize Max Scherzer was drafted by the Arizona D-backs, and he has the funniest story, which he told me on video, was got drafted by the team. They didn't want to pay him. You know, for anybody that lives in the DFW area, y'all remember the Forward Cats? Y'all do realize Max Scherzer played for the Forward Cats. He had to go play. He had to go play independent ball because the Arizona Diamondbacks didn't want to sign him, and he has always had this thing where he hates them. And like he has this thing, and unfortunately he's not here to sort of reap the benefits of like, you know, playing against them as much. But you know, there's some revenge things on here. And also they hear the national media. I've never heard anybody give Rangers credit for actually being here, right? It's always what the Diamondbacks are this team that willed it. Let's not forget the other team lost 94 games last year too. Right. So I think they closed out tonight. I think it's a close game. But I think the Rangers want to get this done because they understand, like, you know, it's more time off. Also, the fact that, you know, you can't let a team get hot. Now, the thing is this, they hadn't lost on the road this year, which they've already broken a record. I mean,
which is crazy.
Which is unreal. Nobody's going to be able to break this record unless they get a wild card and they go to the playoffs, which is never going to happen like this in no scenario. So I got the Rangers winning. I think it's great for DFW. And people already been asking me, when is the parade? I'm going to just take a wild guess off of what I've seen. The parade, if it happened to win today, your parade is going to be Saturday morning. You're going to be able to have a weekend. I think they understand the logic of everybody got to work, and nobody's really planned this. I don't think the city of Arlington is aware of what's going on right now as much, but we're going to find out. I'm excited. Like I said, this is the one championship that went past everybody because, you know, we always been waiting for it. If you're a Cowboy fan, you've been waiting on that. You've been waiting on that.
Ronnie Valdez got championship?
He does with the Boston Red Sox. Boston Red Sox. So he's won. Yeah. There you go. You Red Sox. So you know, like the thing.
Don't beat him. Don't beat him.
But I mean, the thing is this. That's the thing about the Rangers. They have guys on this team that have won before. When you look at the D-backs, man, you know how crazy this is. Did a video with Longoria. Evan Longoria was in the World Series 2008. Do y'all know what y'all was doing in 2008? That was 15 years ago. Evan Longoria played in a World Series 15 years ago, and he hadn't been back since. So he's the only guy. Him and Ryan Thompson, they both played for the Rays at the time, and they both never won. But if you look at the Rangers roster, Eovaldi has won, Scherzer has won, Will Smith has won, Chapman has won, Seager has won. They got guys that have been there before. So that's some sort of like experience.
The roster has been so calm because they know, they understand, and it's clear that they're relaying that along with Bochy. They're relaying that message to the young guys and keeping everything. Evan Carter looks like he's having a time.
He's a superstar. He's a superstar.
Life.
I tell you right now, if you want to put your money on somebody to be the next thing in baseball, Evan Carter's that guy, man. I sat right next to Reggie Jackson, who is one of the greatest baseball players ever, and obviously he has ties to Houston now, work for them. He looked at me and said, in about a year from now, 2 years from now, we're going to be saying Evan Carter's the best player in baseball.
Wow.
I mean, this is a guy that, remember, once again, it's all about the moment. He hadn't played a Major League Baseball game until September.
Yeah.
He had never played a Major League Baseball game. This is a guy that had been in AA all year, AAA. He gets called up in the worst moment for the team when they were struggling. He hasn't been bad. So, and guess what? You're the Rangers, you're lucky. You don't have to pay him for a long time. Adolis Garcia, by the way, who has arguably he's had a historic playoff run. Right now he would have been on pace to break a few records, but Adolis Garcia, as the lineup is set, would have been the third lowest paid player on the roster.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's making $750,000 this year. And guess what? He's doing arbitration this year, so that's gonna be fun to deal with that.
But that's about to change. All right, man. Go enjoy the game. We'll see you soon. Hopefully, get you back here and we'll celebrate together. And appreciate you jumping on with us, man.
All right, man. Hopefully, we all can be at the parade, man. And you know, it's good for the city, man. Like I said, the Cowboys are supposed to have done this about 20 years now.
No time.
Yeah. So hopefully we get to celebrate, man, and have fun. Y'all have a good one, man. I'm enjoying the show. I'm gonna be listening to y'all as well, watching this game, trying to get this in.
All right, bro. Sounds good.
All right, man. Y'all doing it.
Yes, sir.
That's our brother and friend of the pod, C. Hendo, in the building, covering the Rangers in real time. He had a moment to sit with us tonight. We appreciate that. And then the other thing that happened, gentlemen, the trade finally happened. James Harden is now a Clipper. And the Clippers decided in order to get him, they'd have to give up Robert Covington. They'd have to give up Marcus Morris. They'd have to give up a kidney. They'd have to give up 2 first-round picks, a pick swap, 2 second-round picks, and a Chevy Nova from 1978. They gave up a lot of things to get James Harden. I'm not hearing, is he gonna play tonight? I've heard
No,
that PJ Tucker is playing tonight, right?
he's not playing tonight. I heard he wasn't playing.
I think PJ Tucker is gonna play tonight there, or he's available. I'll say it that way. But James is not. But your thoughts on the trade, gentlemen. Your thoughts on the trade. I'm very curious to know what you think. What a trade.
You know, if I'm the Clippers, all this money and draft picks, they could have saved and just got better athletic trainers, better physical therapists, better anything that can keep
Acupuncturist would be nice.
anything to keep the two, Paul George and Kawhi, on the court. That's the key. To me, I don't, and I could be wrong by this. Part of me feel like I can see some sort of work just because of Tyronn Lue, who's the coach. If he can bring it together, if anybody can bring it together, he can bring it together. But by pure numbers, I don't understand this trade because you had a strong roster as it was. Only issue you had with the Clippers is staying healthy.
Right.
The thing is, we've never seen a healthy Clippers team. Now, will we see one? I'm not betting on it. But to me, I don't understand how this move makes you better. And to me, the one player it hurts is Russell Westbrook.
Oh man,
Russell has been playing pretty good basketball in this new situation that he's in. Sometimes it may take a certain coach, it may take a certain system. It actually played in his favor for him. And y'all know I was the worst one on Russell, but I was the worst one. But I got to give him credit. He's been playing much better since he's been with the Clippers. So that's my thought. I don't understand if this trade will make them better. I don't see it making them better. If there's any hope, it will be Tyronn Lue that does it.
Damn, what you thinking about this, man?
I'm an optimist here. I actually like the trade.
Okay.
I think that when you look at James Harden over the years he played, you know, he had his best year arguably playing alongside Russ. He had his MVP playing with Russ, and I think Russ. I think they can play off each other. Actually, I think more because Russ know his role now in the NBA. It's not flying up and down the court and you taking up 23 shots a game and stuff like that. So I don't think that's Russ' concern. I think Russ was so much at the bottom of the pole. I think his thing was, I want to stay on the court. I want to play basketball because like he's almost out the league, bro. Like really. So I think I like the fit. At the end of the day, when you're talking about the bench and everything, that means you can have two of those four people in the game at all time, and I like that. You know what I mean? And it may not be Russ and Harden at the end of the second quarter playing. That might be Kawhi and Russ, and then you bring Paul George and Harden in. I mean, that's the part that Tyronn Lue can't figure out. He's did it before, right? In Cleveland, he's done that, right? So I don't just not like. I mean, I don't hate the trade. I don't just necessarily a fan of it, but I don't hate it. What I do love is that you still playing in LA. And at the end of the day, the Lakers been sucking all this time, and you still ain't won nothing. So I'm good with it. Take the pressure off us. Don't look at us. Let it be about the Clippers.
Right.
We good.
Man.
Chad, what do you think?
I mean, I think the trade is good because I think they got an insurance policy because they're probably banking on one of those two players, George or Leonard, not going to be on the floor all year. So it's addition by subtraction. So if you take one of them guys out, you're going to still have a capable 20, 25-point scorer to be able to win you some games. So, I mean, for that, I think it's a win. But if they all play together and all finish the season together, there's only one ball that you play with in the NBA. So, I mean, I don't know how they're going to distribute, who's going to be unselfish or whatnot. But I mean, I'm banking on not them playing all 82 games together. So with that being said, I think it'll
First
work.
of all, that's sad that you said you're banking on them not playing all 82 games, and none of us blinked an eye. None of us were like, "No, Chad, they're gonna." None of us. Everybody was like. So I'm gonna disagree with Cam just a little bit. Not just in this regard. You said Tyronn Lue has never had this before.
Huh?
Right? You said he has had this
I
before.
think he has.
He has had this before.
Yeah.
And I wrote that, so I wrote down the opposite. He actually has not had this before.
Okay.
He has not had 4 guys that need the ball to score.
I don't think they need the ball to score though.
And I do. I
Okay.
I think 2 of them for sure need the ball to score.
I
They're
agree.
not used to not doing anything without the ball. And they have 2 very different styles, which is why I don't think it ever really worked in Houston, because Russell is one thing and James is a whole nother thing. So, but the other part to me is that I think one of them has to come off the bench. And I know the initial thing is probably going to be to start him and then let Terrence Mann run the second unit. I think Terrence Mann would be better served being the scorer on the second unit and one of those guys be the guy that gets him the ball to make that happen. That's a more powerful back second unit group than him trying to all of them trying to force themselves in the starting lineup. For what reason? Like Paul George is playing some of his best ball already. Kawhi, he's not back yet. He's still working himself back. But Kawhi, we all know what Kawhi can be once he finally gets healthy. So then you only need one other guy with him. I think forcing 4 is a lot. So it's going to be curious. My biggest thing is I'm curious to see how Tyronn Lue manages this. And then also, I don't love that they dumped their bench like that. Like, to me, depth matters as long as the season goes. And it matters there's no team that it matters more for than the Clippers because they have a history of injury. So they got to have some people to come in and spell these minutes for Kawhi. Kawhi don't need to play with all his injuries. He don't need to play more than 30 minutes a game. 30.
The same thing LeBron doing.
You know,
he needs to do the same thing LeBron doing.
He needs to do the same thing LeBron does. So now that's gone. So you got to put those heavy minutes on Kawhi. I don't love that.
Look, you mentioned one thing that I really think that Russ has learned to play off the ball some. The person that I have the most issue with is James Harden playing off the ball.
He can't play off the ball at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all.
That's the issue that I somewhat. And the other requirement is, yes, you have 2 superstars in at all times. But the more important thing is, can those 2 superstars is in can play defense? And you think about it, this game is a younger game, and the West is actually getting younger. Let's look at this, guys. We all have teams that we love, and these superstars are aging. They're aging Lakers. They're aging Golden State. They're aging, Phoenix Sun has some aging players. So, and you think about the Clippers as well. Can those guys play up and down as the season goes on with the younger West, with the younger East? And will they maintain that same momentum if you take 3 of the 4 starters out and you got 2 of the starters out and you got 2 of the main? Let's say, for instance, you had Westbrook James Harden and Paul George in the same time. We know Paul George is going to give it to you on the defense. Does Harden do it? Will he buy into the system that Lue is going to put in place? Because think about it. He didn't buy into one of the greatest, not greatest coaches, but one of the coaches we thought, the players coaches we know, Doc. He didn't buy into it.
Well, if we're being completely honest, he's never bitten into the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
And it's deceptive to say that he had, because I know at one time he was in the top 5 of, when he's playing with Houston, he's in the top 5 of steals. But that's help side defense. That's not him on ball stealing the ball. That ain't what he was doing. So I agree with you 100%, Reggie. And since we're there, let's go ahead and make questions. And I switched some things around because we were already there anyway. Let's talk about the NBA We watched it for 1 week. What are y'all thoughts about the NBA for this first week? Because now that this has been made, I think we all agree the Clippers are probably about the same where they were before this trade was made. So who looks like they're ready to do something? Like, who looks good? I know it's still early, but what are your thoughts early about the NBA?
Looking at the games so far, I mean, the Nuggets are no hangover from championships so far. They're 4-0 right now, so they definitely stringing along. My Warriors are 3-1 right now, so they kind of trying to figure out some things and got CP to buy off coming off the bench. So far so good there. The Lakers, y'all are doing some things, some miscommunications and stuff could have held y'all to being 3-1 as well. But my thing is I'm looking at the Western Conference and I'm looking at the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 0-4. You cannot be losing. You cannot be 0-4 and be trending down when Ja comes back. So you may lose some ground there. You got to be able to have the ship be even keel until Ja gets back, because you don't want to lose ground in the Western Conference. So I think they got some work to do. But Celtics are looking pretty good. So far so good. So I mean, the teams that we thought were going to be in it, we're looking pretty good at this point.
Okay. Ken, what you thinking?
Let me go next.
I just said Cam.
After the next person.
After the next person. Okay, all right, Chad. Reggie, what are your thoughts?
I really don't have any overreactions. I don't. I think of all the teams are supposed to. You got a lot of teams that with a lot of new pieces in place, and when you have new pieces in place, it takes a while. I mean, I can use the Lakers for example. You lose one game or two games or almost lose. I don't buy into that, because you guys have a whole new roster. People have to learn their roles. You got to get your legs, and you just the first week or two is really, to me, is I don't jump into it, because the only thing that I can say is steady is the champions. They're the champions, and even we think about Golden State. They, Curry has been carrying them, and the other players haven't got involved as well too. And you definitely going to need Clay and one other person to step up on that aspect, because man, Curry is playing out of his mind right about now. I'm just being honest. So, but So you think about, it's so tough right now. The West is like a log jam, and I would hate to play one of those. Nobody wants to play nobody in the first round in the West, as everybody stays healthy. Nobody wants to play nobody in the West. So the East, you can see a little top heavy in the East. I can see, Milwaukee and Boston and, those two there. And they look like they're on right off the bat. I don't see anybody in the East really challenging them too. We don't know what Philadelphia is going to look once that trade is complete and those players are in place. Is that bench going to be stronger for them? So that's the way I look right now. It just kind of, and I'm talking about my Spurs. Sometimes they play like a 13-0 AAU team, and sometimes they play like sometimes they play like, wow, we can actually play in the league. So, but that lets you know that half the roster is 19 and 20 years old, so they're the youngest team in the league. But like you said, I don't jump. I was halfway starting to jump, but it's early for them as well too.
What do you think of Wemby so far? What do you think from the games that you've seen?
I like Wemby. I think everybody's expecting him to be the next great LeBron to come through his first year. He's not that type of caliber player. He's on pace right now, and he's in a great system. And you see those sparks from him. Like, man, he'll go in a 6, 7, 8 point spark with 3 blocks in a matter of 3 minutes, and then 2 minutes later he get pushed around like a toothpick. So, but that lets you know he's a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You think about that, a 19-year-old kid playing against NBA All-Stars. You saw what happened last night. I was like, wow, what was the first team in the fourth quarter? So that's just my opinion on the league there. So
I think his greatest quality is that he's a sponge.
yes,
he seems to be soaking up the game, learning every time he steps on the court. He doesn't seem to be making a lot of the same mistakes repetitively, which is important for a guy who's going to be your franchise player. You need him to learn the game quickly. I look at the Denver Nuggets and I say they're going to have a distinct advantage for the next month because everybody made changes. Everybody made small changes. They made huge, gigantic changes. So a lot of teams are going to have to put the pieces together, figure out the rotations, the whole nine. So it's really going to come down to how far out will the Nuggets be by the time everybody else figures it out in the West. And that's kind of where I think we are on the West. In the East, listen, Boston, Milwaukee off to great starts. They look fantastic. A surprising team to me is Indiana Pacers. They look good. Halliburton looked like he said, "Y'all paid me. I'm gonna play like you paid me." Right. So that's interesting to me. And then of course I'm looking forward to seeing what the additions for Philly looks like as well. But I mean, it looks like first week basketball right now. So Dan, what you thinking?
I mean, I think everything is where it's supposed to be at right now, coming out the gate. The Suns, that's the team that I'm looking at, the Suns. I know we've all talked about it. Everybody got their opinion about it. They're going to be a handful to beat every night. I'm just going to say that. That is a team to be reckoned with, and all the pieces are not even there yet. And you know me, when I talk basketball, I talk as if everybody is healthy. Right. I can't look at the negative and say, "Well, AD gonna be hurt." Well, I'm not banking off AD being hurt. I'm banking off us. I'm not banking off Steph rolling his ankle. You know what I mean? I based my NBA pick off that this year, right?
Right.
But the Suns are gonna be that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be the scary team that we watch all year between them and I do. Everybody else, I mean, Utah, they still dealing with trades and stuff they're gonna do. Everybody right here, right now, waiting for the Bulls to blow it up. Like it's just, things are gonna happen that we already know is gonna happen. It's just a matter of time. The Lakers gonna pan out. They may lose 5 out of 10, but then they may win the next 15 out of 19. Like once they get the roster of who's subbing for who's playing better with who. So I think everything is right where it's at. The Spurs, great win yesterday. I really want them to get their heads knocked out. Yeah, I not that I hate Reggie, but I hate the Spurs right now because one of my best friends is a Spurs fan. I have to hear his mouth every day. But the Spurs were getting their butts beat so damn bad yesterday. Yeah. And then in a timeout, I heard Pop talking and coaching. And I was like, man, that guy right there just got it. Yeah. Like he got it, man. Yeah. He just got it. So
he understands, man.
He understands.
And a lot of the young mistakes that they're making, he's gonna fix it. That's why I'm not. You're not worried about them. And all the stuff that you see, like the AAU thing, you're 1,000% correct, Reggie. Right. But Pop sees that, and he's trying to give him time to kind of figure it out. And by the way, for those Spurs that are playing right now, if you listen to this podcast, you might want to get it together because your ass won't be there if you keep playing like this. I can promise you that. He is going to trade for sure. But he's giving you time to get on board, and that's the nice stuff. He's giving you time.
And one team came up that you said is scary. If we want to talk about healthy, and I told Lloyd this too. If the Clippers are healthy, I don't think I want to face them in the first round.
He really likes the Clippers.
I said if healthy.
I do too.
Yeah. You like them a lot. Yeah.
I do too.
I don't know if I dislike. I just don't know. I think I'm in the car with Chad. I just don't know in my heart if I can believe that they're gonna be healthy.
Because who's gonna play the 4? Is Kawhi gonna play the 4?
Who?
Is Kawhi gonna play the 4?
But that's go
The
ahead.
4,
He can.
he could.
But
Matter
I'm
of fact,
saying he's gonna be bruising every night.
Well, no more. Like,
What four is he playing against?
I
Who's
was
good
gonna
at the
say
four
there really
position?
are no dominant 4s anymore, though.
right. You went back to 85, Chad.
Yeah, Carmelo ain't playing no more.
The only real dominant 4 when he wants to be is Anthony Davis.
Right. But
Other than that, there's no real dominant 4.
right. And
Everybody playing small.
Not
Yeah.
dominant, but I don't know.
you know, I just think they're very. But you know, like we said this last year, we haven't seen a healthy. I know this is two different things, y'all. So don't talk about me. We never seen a healthy Denver team, and all of a sudden we saw a healthy Denver team. Will we see a healthy Clippers team this year? Will we finally see a healthy Clippers team in the playoff this year?
You know what, Reggie? I had time to think about your Denver thing, and then we will move on. We actually did see a healthy Denver team. We just didn't see it back-to-back years. Because in the bubble, they were amazing. They were outstanding.
But they didn't have what's the one that hurt his back? The 3-point shooter.
They didn't have Porter.
They didn't have Porter, or they didn't have.
But what they had got them to the Western Conference Finals.
Well, what I'm saying is we didn't have a healthy Porter and a healthy the kid from Orlando.
Well, they brought in a lot more pieces than that.
Right.
Really.
Gordon.
Right. I understand what you say when you mean that, but I was thinking, you know, he didn't look pretty good in the bubble. They
didn't have a squad that they have this year. They didn't have.
Well, it got better last year. I will say that. Yeah, it got
better. But what I'm saying, because Murray had been out a year and a half. Porter had been out.
Not at that point. He had never been hurt before then.
Yeah, but I'm saying before he came back last year, he was out like a year and a half.
Yeah, he's out a year and a half. Yeah.
And Porter was out. He'd been out ever since he came in the league. So
ever since he went to college, everything.
He had a rough start to his career. Let's
right.
All right, guys. Listen, this went down yesterday, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little pissed. I ain't gonna hold you. I was. Because I don't, and not because these teams don't deserve to be in the playoffs, but just because I think here's the problem I have with because me and Charlie and Kendrick been going back and forth in the group chat for 2 days now. Because the problem with this is how you start in this thing makes it much harder to make up the ground as the last 4 games go. So Ohio State got the nod to number 1. Georgia got the nod to number 2. Michigan number 3. Florida State number 4. Then you go to the second tier is Washington, Oregon, Texas, Alabama. The third tier is Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Penn State, and Missouri. And then the final tier is U of L, LSU, and Notre Dame. I'm sorry. I just don't. The Big Ten ain't playing nobody. I ain't playing nobody. Now, Ohio State, they play. You can say they played Penn State, and you can talk about what you think that is. They played Notre Dame and barely squeaked by. I don't think that merits a number 1 spot. Like a number 1, that seems a little like a lot. Now, granted,
who's gonna play quarterback week in week?
No, that's all I'm saying. Like they don't. There's not anybody in these 4 boxes, I believe, and it certainly wasn't none when they did the announcement yesterday that believe Ohio State is the number 1 team in the nation. They couldn't even say that with a straight face yesterday. So why are we acting like? So I'm trying to see what the committee is talking about. Georgia is the only one of those teams, and I'd say Florida State, but Georgia for sure passes the eye test, even though they ain't really played nobody either. But at least they passed the eye test. They look like a team that is decent or whatever. Although you can make a case that Georgia shouldn't be number 1 either, or number 2.
Well, now, okay, will we say has Ohio State? I'm just being a devil advocate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have they beat the top ranked teams out of all?
They beat 2 top 15 teams,
right?
But Oklahoma has the best top 15 win. They beat number 3 Texas.
But the problem is Oklahoma has a loss. If you take that loss away, then we'll be talking about something else. And I love Oklahoma. I'm being honest. I predict Oklahoma to be better than what I ain't say I love them. Excuse me.
You did say
That was aggressive. That was aggressive.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. My mouth said something. My mind.
Look at your man. Look at
Yeah.
the dent to your man.
He gonna clip that. He gonna clip that.
No, erase it.
They literally just created a button for StreamYard where I can just hit B and I can go ahead and mark that. So I just marked that to create.
but I really believe that that's the reason why that Ohio State is number one.
Because of those two wins.
Those two wins. Because you don't have that for Georgia. You don't have that for Michigan.
And then can I tell you my other beat?
That's 100% why they got them like that. Think about it. TCU didn't even win the Big 12 last year. And they put them in there because they had the most top 25 wins last year.
Right.
They set a record for the most since the playoffs, the most top 25 wins. Right. They had like 5.
Yep.
And they didn't even win the Big 12. They did not win the Big 12 championship, and they still put them in.
Can I tell you my other beef? Why are we disrespecting the Pac-12?
Washington should have been in there.
But they got 5 teams. They got 5 teams in the top 25 of the college football playoff ranking. 5. Washington has beat 2 of them.
Okay, but do you jump Washington over Florida State?
I jump Washington over Michigan.
Man, chill.
Yes.
Chill.
What is Michigan? Okay, tell me why Michigan should be ahead of Ohio State. I mean, Washington. I'll wait for you.
What you mean? Man, because
tell me why.
After the Ohio State game, it's gonna be enough said.
No. Don't do that.
We already know
Ohio State game. Look at what's going on.
Michigan plays who's in front of them, like we always say. So Washington play. I say I'm high on Washington. I just, I think they should be where they are.
I disagree. But you know what? The good news about it is
I agree with Chad.
Washington has time to make up the ground. If they can beat the next 3 opponents, which are all top 25 playoff teams, then I think they'll move up.
I think the committee got it right.
I don't understand how you say that.
Michigan been in the top 4 for a couple years.
Who has Florida State beat in the top 25?
LSU.
Well, they beat LSU, and Duke would have been in the top 25. Right. They're in the top 25 AP, but
okay.
Not in the top 25.
So now that you say that, should we put Washington over Florida State?
You can make a case that you can.
You got to go by the eye test too.
I think the eye test, right? I think the eye test says Florida State is the better team. Yeah, I think the eye test says that they're the better team, top to bottom. Though Washington has the better quarterback, I think.
Wow.
But
Michael Penix is killing it right now. He's playing some ball.
Yeah.
So I agree. I agree the committee got it right. I really do. I believe they got it right.
I know you hate it,
Lloyd, but I believe they got it right.
I mean, for selfish reasons, I want OU somewhere up there. Yeah, but we that was a road game that we lost. Kansas had just been ranked. They was 5-2. They just got out of the top rankings or whatever. But the reason I think they got it right, the reason I have no problem with it, because every one of those teams control their own destiny. You win, you win.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you good. Right. So we can talk about Michigan and Ohio State all day. If you win, you in. We can talk about Georgia all day. If you win, you in. We can talk about Texas and OU. You both got a loss. Yeah. It is what it is. That's the nature of it.
And you got to play. And you got to play each other again.
And we're going to have to play each other again. That.
I'm gonna tell you now. Michigan is probably.
Lord, I don't think a Big 12 team is going to get in there this year. I think a one-loss Big 12 team does not trump a one-loss Pac-12. Yeah, Pac-12. I think the Pac-12 is that good this year.
Well, let me say this too. Michigan may not get in just simply because they can't get in scandal free. Because what the hell are y'all doing?
Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
That's got everything to do with it. Y'all here stealing. What the hell y'all
doing? He's a college football thief.
Hey, they've been scouting every college scouts.
No. It's like buying tickets to games and staying on the sidelines. What's wrong?
You don't know that? You don't know that? Hey, there's a mole in the camp, man. There's a mole in the camp. That ain't no mole in Louisville yet.
Chad,
Everybody do it.
moles in all your camps.
Everybody do that, man. Everybody do that.
Lord, Chad got a lot of moles in all his camps. Are you the mole, Chad?
Right, he might be the
Nah,
mole.
man. Nah, man.
He might
Hey,
be the mole.
I ain't send nobody no tape, man.
That dude, what's his name? Collins, what's his name? Colin Sexton, what's his name? I don't know what his name is. But standing on the sideline with sunglasses on and stealing, and y'all wild, bro. Y'all wild. Y'all out here wilding. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh, the next coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, though. Clearly,
could be.
It's so funny that all this is coming out because he showed didn't get that extension, and he denied. He's like, I no, they didn't offer me an extension. No, they didn't offer you an extension.
Yeah. Hey, he going to Oakland. He bringing Kaepernick with him.
He might need to just to get some goodwill, because Lord have mercy.
Hey, if this is not a sign that you trying to go somewhere else,
just in case y'all didn't know, we had question 3, because that's the biggest to me. Michigan is not going to make it just because of that. One spot's going to open up because I think the national narrative is going to force the hand of the Big Ten to have to do something. I know the Big Ten don't want to because they got a chance to get 2 teams in and make that money in the national championship game. But if it keep coming out that they stealing and cheating and everything, you can't not do something if you're the Big Ten commissioner. Come on, man.
I don't think they're gonna do anything.
They got to.
They got to, Reggie.
Man, everybody do it, man. Everybody.
Stop that.
Everybody scouts, man.
Is that the best you got, Chad?
Huh?
Is that the best you got?
Everybody scouts, man. You got scouts on Louisville. You got scouts on Oklahoma.
Reggie,
scouts on Arkansas.
I mean, Chad.
Chad,
you said you love G.
We got scouts in Arkansas. They ain't doing a good job at all.
Hey, you got to have a high level scout, man. You got to have a high level.
Chad, you said
so. Chad, you saying it's cool when they do it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
There's a problem. You cheating ass. I think the college football world is going to put pressure on Michigan to have to make some the Big Ten to have to make some decisions, and that might be why one of the spots open up. But I don't know. The rest of it, it's still early, so we still got a month to go. But I just don't like that Michigan's there at all. I don't think they should be there.
Why?
And I don't think Ohio State should be there.
Man, why?
Man, he got hate in his heart. You got hate in your heart. Let it out.
If it was, Chad said if it was Louisville, you be making all kinds of excuses. Man,
hold on, Reggie. I'm not gonna let you tell that lie out here. When Louisville's basketball program was cheating with hookers and shit, I came on many a podcast and even my own show at the time and said the stupidest thing that they ever did. First of all, see, you done brought it. See, why you bring that up?
Louisville been cheating since 2013. Louisville been cheating since 2013.
That's not.
They got banners taken down and everything.
Hey, Chad, don't do that. Don't try to deflect. Don't try to deflect. Jim Harbaugh is out here cheating. But I guess he said if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So there you go.
He the football Rick Pitino.
He's your coach.
Rick Pitino was your coach.
And guess what happened? Guess what happened to Rick Pitino? They fired him. So there you go. All right, let's move on. We already did 3. Let's go to 4. Because ain't no bigger story there. Okay. NFC, AFC, what we doing, y'all? What we doing? Who impressed you from both sides of the coin this week? Chad, you ready? Chad, you know you ready.
Let's go with the best. I know y'all think the obvious answer would be the Cowboys, but I'm not going with the Cowboys.
Obvious at all.
Yeah, some people will say it was obvious. But
those people are Cowboys.
I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with the Cowboys because it's still not wrong. I'm going with the Lions as the best.
Okay.
You know, they are Jamar Gibbs helped me out in my fantasy team, so he gets the early shout out. But yeah, I mean, the Lions are a good team. They keep rolling, so we'll see how far this goes. I'm trying to see where they're going to be in the playoff picture. But my worst, and I love to say this, I love it. The 49ers have lost, I think, 3 games since they played us. So 49ers is my worst. Then my surprise, the Giants losing to the Jets. Y'all should have won that game. I'm not sure why y'all lost, but
we had a third string quarterback out there who passed with 9 yards.
Zach Wilson is a third string quarterback as well. So.
He is not. He's the second string quarterback.
Tell it how you tell it. He's a third string quarterback.
Boy, Chad is. You know what Chad is. I'll see you soon.
Whoa.
Go ahead, y'all. Cam, what you doing?
NFC best. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I mean, that was a beat down. That was a drumming. That score was 40-23, I think. That score could have easily been 40-3. Like the Cowboys put their foot all over the field, man. There was nothing that anybody could do. That was with Aaron Donald starting off the way he started off. I thought, it's gonna be a long day for Dallas.
Yeah, and Lloyd did say last show, Aaron Donald on the field, how they gonna contain him. I saw it.
Y'all didn't contain him in the beginning.
But
so
they got 4 quarters though, man. 4 quarters.
I'm just saying I wasn't wrong. He did wreak havoc. Y'all had to make adjustments.
For 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
Well, he got a lot of bravado today for
a lot of it. But the worst, I'm gonna get the worst to the San Francisco 49ers. I expected more. It's supposed to be a championship-based team, which they just got better, didn't they? But anyway, I expected more from them. My surprise team, it just on the road, division game, they find a way. Is the Eagles, especially the way they was losing from the beginning of the game, and it's like they find a way, man. That's a scary team when that team always find this way to wheel out a deal, you know. So keep down.
Okay. Reggie, what you doing in the NFC, brother?
Oh man, I gotta give it to them boys, man. You know, not just the win and how they won it. And by the way, it was a terrible call in that first drive for the Rams. Y'all got away with that call, man. So, but you still dominated. So I gotta give you props. And you know what I'm talking about, don't you? In the beginning of that game, yeah, okay. And
you got some calls too, man.
Hey, we're not talking about the other thing. We're talking about you right now. So I'm giving you props. The worst, I got to go with San Fran. Oh man, yeah, that was pretty surprising to give up 31 at that. You know, their defense is the heart of their team, and to give up 31, yeah. So those are my 2 there.
All right. I'm not giving the Cowboys nothing. My surprise was actually the Seahawks. Because we just got through talking about how great the Browns were and how Myles Garrett wreaked havoc on one game and single-handedly won it. And the Seahawks, see, that's what you call nullifying somebody, Chad. Not what y'all did. They nullified the second best defensive player in the NFL and slowed Myles Garrett down. That's no easy task.
What's the throwback jersey on?
Seahawks. That was my best. The 49ers, that was my absolute worst. But that'll probably be the last time I give them the worst because, boy, in the words of Tony Montana, they reloaded. So, so they should be fine. And my surprise was the Eagles because the Commanders are bad. And they made them look like world beaters. So I understand what Cam is saying about them finding a way to win, but to me they play it on the edge. And how long can you do that? So I'm curious to see about this game this weekend and how that's gonna go. But that's an interesting situation that's going on in the Eagles right now. So that takes me to the AFC, where my best was the Bengals beating the 49ers. Impressive. They got back looking like Bengals football, and that was cool. But my worst, my God, what happened to the Chiefs this weekend? my best and surprise is in that game. Obviously, my surprise is the Broncos. Nobody saw that coming. But they actually went and beat them. Like, that defense made it hard for the Chiefs. Now, to be fair, a lot of drop passes in that Chiefs game. A lot of drop passes. And I think they need to be concerned because, man, Sky Moore and McCole, and we ain't seen Kadarius Toney since the Super Bowl. So they got a lot of drop passes. Now, let me ask y'all a question real quick before I wrap my part here. Y'all got a problem with Travis Kelce going to the World Series Friday on an away game and then meeting them in Denver?
Yes, I do.
I have a problem with that.
The same situation happened when Tony Romo went somewhere and then he had a game next couple of days and they lost. So, yeah, man, you have to focus on the game, man. You have to lock in. I mean, yeah, you were going to the game a couple of days, but you still got a game in 2 days, man. You got to lock in.
I think it's overblown, but that's me. Red, you got a problem with it?
I mean, I have a problem with it as the team aspect of the game. Because where I grew up, we do everything as a team. I teach the young guys, hey, we wake up and eat breakfast together. We do this together. We're one unit. I remember the story with Chris Beard when he took Texas Tech to the championship that year. And one of the things he did was say, you know what? When we eat breakfast together, our cell phones are dropped off at the door. So to me, when your goal is to win, we do everything as a team.
So should he have taken more players with him?
Huh? He should have took the whole team. If the whole team would have won, it would have been no problem.
Okay.
And they still could have lost. And then
So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If it isn't Travis Kelce, is it one of the second stream old linemen? He's not gonna go. They ain't gonna let him go.
We ain't got the money to go.
But what I'm saying, they ain't gonna let him go. So to me, I'm not making a big deal out of it per se. But what I'm saying is, if this generation is different. We are on one accord.
I don't think I have a problem with him going, but I do think Travis might not be the most focused right now. Like, he kind of living his best life, and he got his followers up, and he it just feels like Travis might be a little bit off focus, just a little bit, with everything he got going on.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
Like I know, in any other team and things like that, they're not letting that happen. Not the truth. They're not letting that happen. Name a player when is a player going to lead the team? I'm not going to hang out with the team. I'm going to go here in the middle of the season.
Travis Kelce, look at Tony Romo and Justin Simpson. You see how it play out.
I can understand it was a Monday or Tuesday because Monday, Tuesday are days off. I can understand. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, day off. Or you go somewhere in curfews at 12 and Taylor Swift concert ends at 11:30. All right, got to get home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So come on. Yeah. But it's not a big deal in which the media should talk about it like that. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, since we're there, Reg, who you giving your AFC to?
Man, I gotta give it to them Broncos, man. I gotta give it to the best team. I gotta give a shout out to the Broncos. I ain't gave one out in 2 years. Let me give one out to them today.
Give them your best, man.
The best in the AFC this week. Yeah, the best. Let's ride.
So shout out Jerry Jeudy, huh?
Let's ride.
Oh my goodness.
And I hate to say it, I got a man. What Cam at? Cam, I lost Cam. Before I get my
Hand
word,
that tip out real quick. Yeah.
okay, I gotta give it to my coach, man. Oh my, I just, my heart hurts.
I mean, they were in it for a little
it's
while.
not- It's the defense is giving up that many points. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
They was in it for a little while.
2 weeks in a row, that many points.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm about to go.
They were in it for a little while though, Reggie. Like for a little while.
I want to talk about.
Hey, man.
I'm trying to give you some hope, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, your quarterback can't slide and your defense is not playing good.
Chad,
I understand.
I didn't ask you to dump or dump on me.
I'm just saying, man.
Chad been a little frisky today. I ain't gonna hold you.
I understand.
Hey, man, I missed last week. I'm a little hyped.
This Cowboy got a little victory. He feeling himself, you know.
Nah, I mean, I could tell you.
Don't let them lose
man.
this weekend is all I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't impressed, like I said, with the Cowboys.
I don't believe you now.
We'll see how press you. Let's see how you press. What is this Sunday? Is y'all playing Sunday night?
Right.
Sunday.
Yeah. In Philly too, I heard.
Well, go ahead, Chad. Who you got?
I'm gonna go. My best is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Chad, come on, man, you tripping?
What, man?
You know the Broncos are best this week.
Anyway, like I said, Cincinnati Bengals is my best team. My worst team is the Kansas City Swifts. Going with Kansas City Swifts this week. My surprise team is gonna be the Titans and Mr. Will Levis, Mr. Green Room. He led them boys to a victory. See if he's gonna be the quarterback of this Tennessee Titans team because they got like 4 in the room. So
I would caution Titans fans. Just settle down.
I mean, he played well.
He played well under the circumstances, but settle down. I know they're gonna start him this weekend, but just
DeAndre Hopkins looked like DeAndre Hopkins again. Yeah. So, I mean, it was good for 1 week.
Yeah, it was good for 1 week. There you go.
Hey, Lloyd, can I ask Cam?
Yeah.
Cam, what is wrong with our defense?
Oh man, I don't know. It's I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this first of all.
Look, Cam, what the hell y'all laughing at?
I'm not laughing at. No, I wasn't laughing.
I ain't say nothing, man.
Cam.
I don't want no problem.
Get that out, Cam. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cam.
You good, man?
We're good. I had to straighten some things out first.
Yeah.
We good.
Wow.
I'm just gonna sip this, you know. That escalated quickly, didn't it? You can tell when somebody's frustrated with their season. He said, "What the hell y'all laughing at?"
First of all, on this panel right here, if anybody should be mad, it should be them Giant fans.
Oh, we pissed. Let me tell you, the level of piss that we are, though, you can't even. That's not even worth. I can't even say what I want to say on this here broadcast because we'll be demonetized. So I just have to be like, you know what?
Hey,
I'm taking up for my boy. My boy was feeling some kind of way the way y'all were laughing at while ago. So now I'm gonna say, check this out. What will happen? Cowboy fans, don't you do that, Chad? You know what'll happen in the postseason. All right, so let me get back to the boy. First of all,
no smoke.
Since he asked about it, I'm gonna pick that as my worst for the AFC.
I agree.
Our defense got to play. Listen, our defense really, when you look at it, go look at the scales, go look at the matrix. Our defense been balling out the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Maniac was hurt last year. He only played one game. That was in Houston last year.
Right.
Yeah. We got somebody else leading us in tackles. It ain't even Maniac, man. Look. But I will
change his name back.
I will say this though. The offense has a lot to do with what's going on with our defense. Because they got to sustain drives, man.
There's a few.
They got to
There's a
get the
few
defense
drives.
off the field.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like they can only do so much. And now they trying to gamble to make a play because we're down by 10 or 13 now. They trying to gamble on the routes and stuff like that. So I feel you, Reggie, but check this out. When we get that man back, and he got Jonathan Taylor and Mouse in the back with Downs and Pittman Jr., and then the offseason we pick up Jerry Jeudy, we're going to be all right, man. So chill out. We're going to be all right.
I like how you slid that Jerry Jeudy in there.
I saw that.
My best, I'm going Miami. Look, I mean, I just don't know how you can line up and beat them every week. And you got the running backs playing like that. The other running back is hurt. But how do you line up against Waddle and Hill and now Claypool? Like, you better have a hell of a scheme.
I mean,
So
I
it
understand, but Buffalo did it.
They did. And they got slapped the week before. Yeah, it happened. Listen, ain't nobody going to go undefeated.
No.
Somebody's going to have a lit game. That's going to happen. I get it. If Buffalo did it so good, why everybody else ain't doing it? They gave you the blueprint. Why everybody else ain't doing it?
Buffalo did it. Philly did it. If Kansas City do it, then I'm gonna say you can do it. You just gotta be a good team.
But then you turn around, Kansas City got slacked by Detroit. Like I know
it's a weird season right now. It's a weird season.
And listen, the surprise should be a no-brainer for everybody on this today.
Yeah.
No okay, because let's hear it. They played so good that they made no trades.
Which, by the way, is a mistake.
I totally agree.
They should have traded somebody.
This is the one time Sean Payton could have did what he wanted to do. He should have blew the team up.
Listen, trade somebody for something. It don't even matter what it is. Just trade somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all ready to make these picks?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. We 5 picks. But before we do that, Chad, how did me and Cam do last week?
You don't want to know.
I do want to know. That's why I asked you, Chad.
You don't want to know.
Chad,
okay.
I want to know. I ain't scared.
Okay. In college football, Lloyd, you went 3 for 5. Cam, you went 4 for 5.
Okay. That's not bad.
In the NFL,
we probably didn't win the game.
Lloyd, you did not win the game.
I didn't win the game. Yeah.
Cam, you got 1 off, and Reggie, you were 1 for 2.
Well, I did what?
There were a lot of missed opportunities this past week.
You got 1. You 1 for 5.
Dang.
There were a lot of games that should have been no-brainers that ended up not being no-brainers.
It's real.
So I understand what happened this weekend. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. So there you go. All right. Well, let's start with NCAA football. Notre Dame and Clemson.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, this is the 5th loss right here. Yeah. I didn't see 5 coming. I only saw 4, but this is the 5th loss.
Yeah, I'm going Notre Dame too.
Cam going Notre Dame. Look at him. He's thinking about it.
He nodded his head. Okay. Let's move on. Missouri and Georgia. This is a trap game for Georgia. Is Missouri just good enough?
No, I'm going with Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia all day.
Yeah, not this week. Yeah, not this week.
And is that Georgia too? Oh no.
Yeah. Purdue and Michigan.
Purdue by 21. Boy, I'm just joking. Michigan.
You about to make me create a hot take button, and this is a hot take. I hate to say it, but it's gonna be Michigan. But
by 21.
I don't want it to be. Are we all in agreement here?
Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast, my friend. This is the Townsend Bowl. My father-in-law went to Purdue. His brother went to Michigan. Yeah, I'm going Michigan.
You know what?
Man, you know what? Drugs.
You held us up for that.
Yeah.
All right, now this is interesting. Because USC is playing for pride. And they would like nothing better than to upset Washington. And Caleb has no shot to win the Heisman. But he would like to not, he's no shot to win the Heisman. But he would like to make it to where nobody in the Pac-10 can win the Heisman. The Pac-2, I mean. And it's at USC. But because they can't stop nobody, give me Washington.
Yeah, give me Washington because USC can't.
They
I
can't
don't know.
stop it.
They can't even stop my 2-year-old daughter running down the hallway.
To quote a Shannon Sharp, they can't stop a parked car in a snowstorm.
Right. give
me Washington by 30.
No, they ain't gonna be about 30.
All about 30, but
Okay, 20. 20.
Yeah,
Washington by 20.
I'm interested in hearing Cam's pick on this one.
USC by 10.
Oh, you crazy.
I knew it.
USC by 10. You just said a mouthful yourself, Lloyd.
I did, but Cam, listen. What we don't allow on this show is for you to leave the screen, smoke something, and come back. We don't do that.
You just said a mouthful yourself.
Caleb would like this to be a great game for him and to upset Michael Penix. He would.
This has nothing to do with college football. This has nothing to do with upscaling him. This has everything to do with solidifying his number one stock in the draft.
Well, that might be gone too after this weekend. LSU and Alabama. Now,
Roll Tide, roll, because Kelly can't coach. Roll Tide. No, let me quit.
Dang.
well, listen, he has not proven that he can win the big one.
Yeah.
Until this weekend.
Woo.
Give me LSU in the upset on the road. And not because of him, but because I believe in Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. Alabama is playing their best football right now. They beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right.
I feel like Nick Saban will have his boys ready for this one. So, Alabama.
He didn't have them ready all season. They had to come back in every game they
For
played.
this one.
Bro, stop it, Lord. They've been playing well these last 2 or 3 games. Stop it.
Okay. All right. Cam, what you doing?
Bama. Listen, I think of all the college playoff teams, this is the sneakiest team right here of everybody. I'm telling you. Hey, one loss SEC champion. A one-loss SEC champion.
I don't think that. I think.
Remember K-State won the Big 12 last year, and TCU went to the championship. That's all I want to remember.
I agree. All right, NFL, what we doing? Titans and Steelers.
The
Steelers Magic didn't happen this weekend.
No,
it's gonna be a good game.
It's gonna be a good game. I ain't say it. I might ride with the Titans.
Well, Steelers Magic didn't happen last weekend, but I'm in the car this weekend.
Their quarterback play has not been good to me.
Yeah, but give me Steelers. TJ Watt gonna make Will Levis's life a living hell.
Yeah. Did I pick?
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
Come on, Cam. Help me pick before I pick.
We're going with the Steelers here, boy.
All right, we're going.
Yeah, we go with Steelers.
How far go with Steelers then? And then
I'm actually gonna get up and watch this game. This is in Germany. 8:30 in the morning for us anyway. 9:30 Eastern. I'm actually gonna get up and watch this game. Give me the Chiefs. And the Dolphins gonna have a lot of questions to answer Monday morning.
I'm going to go with the opposite of that, and with the same answer that the Chiefs are going to have a lot of answers, because the Chiefs is the team that barely gets by this year.
Okay.
They're the ones that squeaking wins out.
Okay.
What the Chiefs don't want to do, we found that they do not want to play from behind.
They don't.
All right.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Our tight end is gonna go to his future wife's concert in Germany somewhere and come back and play 5 minutes before the game. So let me go.
Oh my goodness.
That's tough.
I'm going with the Dolphins. Jalen Ramsey's back, and they got a little defense for them Chiefs. So Dolphins.
Stay there, Chad. What you doing here? Bills and Bengals.
Bengals. I think they got some confidence now, and they are trying to trend up. So I'm going Bengals.
Is there any lingering anything from last year? You know what I mean? Like, this is a weird, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That was my only concern about going all in on the Bills. Like, is there any lingering from last year? And, you know, you step on the field and it was old. I don't know. I'm nervous, but
Yeah.
Bengals are playing great ball right now, so I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Cincinnati has won their last 3, and we'll make it 4, guys. Let's go with Cincinnati.
All right.
The Bills are the most is the best overrated team in the league. It is the most inconsistent thing I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
They will dominate you one day, and you be talking Super Bowl, and 2 weeks later, you be like, they may not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Bengals have done this before. They have started out slow and rang off 11 in a row.
Yep.
Won 8 out of 10 and all that stuff. I think the Bengals are getting healthy and better. That's what I think.
All right. Stay there, Cam. Seahawks and Rams, or Seahawks and Ravens. Both teams are trending in the right direction.
Yeah, but one team is clearly better than the other, though. And listen, Mahomes Mahomes is racking it up. Tua is racking it up. But if you want to go stat by stat and you want to look at it, Lamar Jackson is doing a beast mode food the last 3 weeks.
And the most consistent. He's been the most consistent of everybody.
I'm talking about 25 out of 30.
Yeah.
For 340. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually think the Ravens run away with this game. Actually, I don't even think it'll be close.
Okay. I'm Ravens. I've been saying to me the 2 best teams in the AFC. Here's the shocker: the Jaguars and the Ravens are playing the best football. Ain't nobody talking about the Jaguars. They just flying quietly below the radar. But if you watch them play, they have played some of the most consistent football on both sides of the ball, and so have the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens too.
Not so fast, my friends.
Okay.
Seattle has made a lot of improvements on the defense. They got a lot of underrated free agents that they picked up in the offseason. Seattle by 3 at Baltimore.
And they got the hometown kid from Fort Worth, huh?
Okay. We got a Seattle believer. And then the final game of the night to choose Cowboys and Eagles.
At Philly.
What we doing?
Dak throws 5 interceptions. I'm just
Oh
joking. I'm just joking with you.
Man.
Oh my. Wow.
I know.
What you doing? What we doing, people? Everybody scoring?
I hate to say it.
I'm thinking.
It's in Philly, and I'm going fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh wow. Okay.
You doing that so you can be back in your brother-in-law's house.
Man, this ain't got nothing to do with my brother-in-law house. It got something to do with you. I don't need to be at my brother-in-law house. I got my own 75. Why need somebody else 75?
I don't need this 75. I got
my own 75.
I'm going.
Man, we know you're going Cowboys. Stop playing.
Come on, man. Quit all that playing. We know you know
What are we
that.
talking about right now? I really wasn't even talking about you, Chad.
I don't always bet on the Cowboys, man.
I've never seen you on this program not bet on them.
I have, man. I care about my record.
I'm very interested to hear you and Cam's pick on this one. Come on, get in there.
There is one thing that makes me nervous. There's one thing that makes me nervous about picking the Eagles. And that is, I heard today that Jalen Carter is not doing well. He may not play.
Well, he ain't played in a few games, haven't he?
I thought he played in the last, but he got hurt in the last one. I don't.
Well, the game before then he didn't play. I don't think the game before then he didn't play. The game before then he didn't play.
I think it might have been the game before him. Yeah. So that makes me nervous because they need that push in the middle.
I don't think they will because Cowboys have nobody who's going to run up the middle unless.
Well, that now see, now you preaching. Now you may have swayed it for me. Give me the Eagles. Shout out to Steven Jackson for not pulling the trigger on the Derrick Henry thing. Too. That feels like a real genius move.
Okay.
Well, breaking news.
Uh-oh.
I'm not wishing bad on nobody. But this kind of stuff happened every year. We really ain't seen it so much this year. I just feel this, dude. I'm not listening. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking bad on anybody.
Yeah.
I believe I really feel like it. I don't want it to happen. I'm just telling you how I feel. This is one of those games. I feel like one of these franchises is going to lose their quarterback for the rest of the season.
Ooh. Wow.
I just feel. I see one of those injuries, dude. I see it. Like it happens.
What just happened?
Like Kyler Murray. Listen, hold on. Let me explain. Let me explain.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Let me explain.
Hit that again, Chad. Chad, hit it again. Hit it again. Right. What just happened?
Let me say this again. Kyler Murray last year.
What?
The quarterback for the Rams this year. He gonna be out for a little bit. That thumb is broke. Like it's that whole hand thing is done. I feel like something's gonna happen like this because these two teams hate each other. First of all, you call it what you want, and so there's not gonna be a mercy rule. So if they can get a hit on you, they're gonna get a hit. Just remember, hey, let's talk about it next week.
So who's your pick?
I'm going down.
You going Dallas?
Wow.
Wow.
Well, let me say this. I'm not co-signing what you just said, but Jalen's knee does concern me because he didn't look good Sunday, and he got away with some running Sunday that I don't think he'll be able to get away with this weekend. He might want to stay in the pocket this weekend. So, and I'll just leave it at that. All right, that's it, gentlemen. That's just it. Right now, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks are in a pitching duel.
Come on,
it is bottom of the fourth. No, I'm sorry, not bottom of the fourth. It is top of the fourth, or top of the fifth rather, and it's 0-0. Or no, wait a minute, maybe I'm wrong. Bottom of the fourth, 2 outs, 0-0. A man on for Arizona. But they're in a pitcher's duel right now. So it's been an interesting game. So we'll see what happens there. But what a show. What a show. I've enjoyed myself tremendously. Y'all might want to tune in tomorrow for Believe in the ACC. Got a lot to talk about tomorrow. I'll just give you a sneak preview. Number one, we're going to talk about Dabo's comments on the radio show. Because me, Kendrick, and Charlie have been arguing all week about that, and we have very different opinions as to how that should have gone down. And then also we're going to talk about Kenny Payne for Louisville losing in an exhibition game to Kentucky Wesleyan, and how much rope do you give coaches in these situations? Because you can't keep promising better and blaming everybody but yourself. At some point, you got to take accountability.
Come on, man.
To what you are doing or what you are not doing, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling them, yeah, but the message, tomorrow. All right. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys immensely. What a great show this was. Shout out to Hendo for coming through.
Definitely.
Appreciate him. Who y'all shouting out, man? Shout out to the wife of this catfish I'm about to destroy.
I'm jealous. Yes, man. Shout out Hendo for stopping through. Shout out you guys, man. Glad to be back. Doing this with you guys. Awesome time. Shout out the Rewatch gang and the people watching us each and every week. Just it's looking like a little winter down here in Texas, man. So
it's
not enjoyable. Yeah, it's
cold as mug out here.
Hey, it's not enjoyable for me. It's not enjoyable for me right now. So.
I hear that.
Shout out to you, gents, man. Shout out to you guys, man.
Shout out to my legendary soccer knees parents.
Couple of weeks, we'll be inking. Couple of weeks. So.
Despite the shade, she still shines. And I'm gonna leave it at that. If you know, you know.
That's what's up.
All right, go ahead, Cam. I'm sorry. I had to get that out.
You good. Shout out to nephew. If y'all see on this Instagram stuff, that rehab is going great. That boy ready to put some pads on. You know what I mean? His work vibe is just, it's retarded, man. That guy he don't stop. Go Diamondbacks. Also,
what?
He just said,
the devil is busy always.
I'm sorry, my fault. Also shout out to the nephews. You know, my sister lost her husband, and we buried him past Saturday. And so John and Josh has really been standing up. The nephews, they've been really taking care of their mom. So I'm proud of them. It's like a growing moment. So I'm definitely proud of them, hoping our family's better and all that stuff. You know, just losing a brother, and then we lost a brother-in-law. So tough stuff going on. Shout out to you guys. Love being on here with you guys. Love what we do. And in a couple of weeks, man, I got an announcement that's gonna rock the world, man. Man.
I rock the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like rocking the world. I'm down with rocking the world.
Yeah. And last but not least, shout out to the Colorado Buffaloes, man.
Why?
We're not even have to talk about y'all again for another week.
Tell me why.
We're going to be on 500. I want to hear your mouth for another week, and we're going to be all of you Buffalo lovers that come out of nowhere. I don't care if you get mad at me. I don't care if you get mad at me. Keep that same energy you had when you beat TCU. Keep that same.
We lost to Deion Dale. We done lost to Deion Dale already.
Listen to me, Deion. I still believe.
Whoa. I believe. I never said I didn't believe.
You don't believe.
I just have to hear. Listen.
Keep the Colorado Buffaloes name out your mouth.
Listen. Let's not be retarded here. In the offseason, the portal gonna come to him.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to my new quarterback, New York Giants, Shedeur Sanders. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Wow. Now you want Deion?
Hey, you know what?
Now you want Shedeur?
I'm about to leave off that note.
Y'all want Shedeur now? You ain't been
coming home.
I'll take whatever we can get at this point. I'll take whatever we can get.
You know what? And I'm done after this. I can't do this with you no more, Lord. I personally can't. These guys can. I can't do this with you, dude. Shout out to your next quarterback for the next 4 years for the New York Giants, Ryan Tannehill. That's going to be your quarterback.
You know, your words hurt. And
I'm out.
And on that note, I leave. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
There's no mystery.